Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the week of November 21st. We're just going to jump right in here, Leo, and we are going to see what is going on. In your past position, you have this groundhog spirit. It says time to let go. So it could be time for you to let go. I think you have let go of something from the past. It's like you've let go of an idea or something, and it's something that was like keeping you stuck. I still feel, it's kind of interesting. I feel like you've let go of an idea that was keeping you stuck, but it's almost like you still haven't let go of it. But this isn't, this is not a bad thing, is what I would say, Leo. I think that, for example, this could be an idea in work or business, and maybe you're just, I think that some things need to be shuffled around, right? So it's like if you are letting go of an idea in work or business, maybe you had an idea to make some sort of change, and I feel that you still have to make the change. That's what I'm trying to spit out here. So I feel like you understand that it's time to let go of something that you were holding on to. You can see this little groundhog spirit is holding on to kind of like a heart. And I feel that some of you, sometimes I think we get attached to our ideas, right? We have an idea, we think it's a good idea, but maybe it's not. And we have to learn that we have to move on to something new. The thing about groundhog medicine is that groundhogs have like multiple chambers, like in their burrows, right? They have like multiple little, chambers. And it kind of represents death and rebirth. So it's interesting that you have the Judgment card here. There could be some sort of rebirth entering into your life, but it's like you're coming back bigger and better, is what I would say. Some of you, I feel, are like literally building a following or a community around you. You end with this community card, but it's like more popping into my head as a bigger following. So if you work in social media, or if you have social media, I feel like you're kind of having a rebirth onto the next stage of life, and it's going to be much better than where you have been. You have the Ace of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, and the Judgment card here. Again, I really get this feeling of like having held on to something for too long. It's not like Four of Pentacles. This is, again, giving me kind of like a different vibe. It's giving me the vibe of just thinking that something was better than it actually is. For some of you, this could have been a relationship as well. You have the Eight of Swords here. Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction, but, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. I feel like you're moving forward. I feel like you are realizing that maybe you had a little bit of an emotional connection to something as well. You can see the water that is underneath her. So it's like, again, sometimes I think we come up with an idea, we develop a connection to it, and then, we have a hard time moving on from it. But it looks like you are moving on. I feel like you're moving on to bigger and better things, and it's like you're just moving on to that next chamber of life. Like I said, with that groundhog, you're moving on to the next thing. You can even see that through the archway here on the Ace of Pentacles, there are some mountains, and those mountains represent achievements, and I feel for a lot of you, you're just moving on to bigger and better things, bigger and better achievements, or more successful opportunities, and that's kind of what's going on here. So there you go. That's what I get. I feel like you need to embrace the rebirth here. That's really all I'm getting. I'm not getting like traditional judgment type vibes here. It's more just talking about, kind of a rebirth. Let's see what details we get here. Yeah, you have the King of Pentacles popping out there as well. It's funny because King of Pentacles is the card of convention, which is like the way things have always been done. You always get the King of Pentacles, and I think you're moving on from that. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Cups. Definitely could be a water sign coming in for you in love. I see if you have love, great. If you don't have love, then I see new love because you have the Page of Pentacles. Could be an earth sign, water sign, fire sign. I mean, you have everything here. So could be any sign, but I feel like it's someone very kind, caring, nurturing, a very childlike energy here as well. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Seven of Swords. You have the Seven of Swords next to the Eight of Swords. Seven of Swords about needing to have more fun. It can represent lying, cheating, stealing, and sure, maybe some of you dealt with that in a relationship, but he has these polka dots on his cloak, and the polka dots in the tarot represent needing to have more fun, needing to be more playful, and the Seven of Swords is actually a card of tactics. It's like a card of doing something that more tactically and needing to look for ways to do things more tactically as well. We'll talk more about that in a minute in the next row, because I feel like that's kind of where it's more important, if that makes sense, is in your present position, which is the next row. So I feel like tactics are going to be very important for you. I really see you kind of doing, again, like a lot of planning, really being sure of things that you're doing. With the Judgment card, crazy, you have a lot of repeating cards here. You have the Two of Swords right next to it. You have the Two of Swords as well. Two of Swords is about needing to go to this new island behind you. Your readings are basically always the same. You get the most, out of all the signs, your readings are the most similar, I would say, Leo. I think your advice is always the most similar. And, what I would say here is, I don't know, don't shoot the messenger. I can't control the messages I get. But, what I would say here is I feel like there's new opportunities, and you're going to have to see those opportunities. They probably exist in areas of your life where you just haven't been looking. And I know that's very, very vague. But what I would say is for a lot of you, I feel these are financial ideas. Like I feel, especially if you have a business, just kind of going this way, I feel it could have a lot to do with things that involve planning. So planning for your business could be very important. I'm also getting growing your business. If you're trying to grow your business, I kind of have this energy of like needing to be more aggressive, but we're not talking about aggressive in a bad way, but maybe you need to promote yourself more. Maybe you need to advertise. I don't know if whatever, you're going to have to think of it. Cause again, I can't answer this question for all of you. I don't know what you all do, but I would definitely look at ways to put yourself out there more. Next in your present position, you have this last quarter moon in Sagittarius. It says practice gratitude. It's kind of weird. Everybody, I think, in the mid-monthly readings had something about gratitude. You're the only person that has anything about it this week. Well, actually, I think one other person did maybe, but, I think that practicing gratitude right now, of course, is always a good idea. Can we get more details on this? You have this full moon in Leo. It says go wild. So some of you, I feel like you need to go wild. And I feel like the go wild thing is saying that maybe in work or business, you have some ideas that are a little bit like wild side ideas or things that have never been tried before. And that's exactly what I would be doing if I were you. You have the Six of Cups, Seven of Swords, and the Two of Swords here. Again, Seven of Swords, sorry. He is stealing those swords from an army that's in the background here. And it represents tactics because instead of going to war, he is making sure that those swords can't be used against him in battle the next day. So he's kind of using his wits to outwit his competition, right? And I feel that for a lot of you, where it's almost like you're outwitting the competition, and this could also be in love, by the way, as well. It's almost as if there is no competition for you. I'm getting a million things here, which is crazy. I also see you like simplifying things significantly in your life, but it's almost as if like maybe in the past you thought you'd have to do all this work to be in a relationship, but it's almost like you're finding a person, if you don't already have one, who is, I wouldn't just say easy, but I feel like their expectations are just simple, like not overly complicated with that Page of Pentacles, right? I think they have very simple, expectations. That's what's popping into my head. Same thing in work as well. It's like if you have competition, I actually think you just need to explore new ideas with the Two of Swords, because I feel like there could be just new opportunities that maybe you're not seeing, maybe you're not paying attention. The thing with the Two of Swords is that it is a card of initiation. Traditionally, she is basically being initiated into like the Freemasons on the Two of Swords, kind of. And I feel like but what I feel the initiation means for you is that you've just had to go through some things, in life to be able to get to the next level in like work or business. And it's almost as if your initiation is complete, but there's like one final test here with the Seven of Swords, which again, I feel is kind of like outwitting a situation. I don't really necessarily think it has to be competition either. I think that maybe you just have an idea to do like a different way of promoting your business or whatever. And I would just look into those things. Next, you have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is, of course, innocence and nostalgia. It can represent thinking about the past. It can also just be a gift from the universe. Usually the gift we receive from the Six of Cups is a turnaround. We can try things with the Six of Cups, and maybe we tried them in the past. This can represent a time where we can try something that we have tried, and it works better than it did in the past. So don't be afraid, to try some of your like older ideas or things that didn't work for you in the past. I feel you're like in a different position now, so things might actually work better for you. With the Six of Cups, you have the King of Swords. You're coming at things from a place of maturity is really what it boils down to. It's like, maybe you tried to promote your business in the past and it didn't work out, but you have more knowledge and wisdom now. Same thing in love is that King of Swords, he has gained knowledge and wisdom. So again, it says like maybe you're afraid of love because of past experiences. But again, guess what? They are past experiences. I always say to people, trust me, I get a million comments a day from people who say, like, I'm never going to have love again because of all these people. I'm like, great. Basically, what you're allowing past people to control your life, number one. Number two, you're basically saying, I learned nothing from those past situations. If we look at those situations and we look at what we learned, we can avoid it in the future. And, that's all we basically have to do. So, I feel that's kind of what you're doing with the King of Swords. And again, it doesn't matter what gender you are. I feel like you're just embracing that energy. Could also be an air sign coming in for you. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Tower. Again, I just saw that when I was shuffling, I saw the Tower in your reading. Almost every single person this week has had the Tower again. Again, for some of you, this could be like something where you learned that a past person was a liar, cheater, stealer. You do have the Judgment card here, so I would be careful if you learn that information or if you don't want to learn that information. Again, if you're dealing with a past person or if you have a past person and maybe you kind of felt like they cheated, maybe you want to block them. It's like, do you really want to find out that they cheated with your mom, your neighbor, and your cousin? Probably not, right? You probably don't want to know that. So what I would say here is it might be a good time to block someone. I do feel there could be some surprises and shocks that are actually positive though. So if you are being tactical this week and trying new things, I feel like maybe intuitively, I don't feel like these are mind-blowing surprises, but I feel like they're definitely pleasant surprises where if you're trying new things in work or business, I think you're just pleasantly surprised at how well these things work. And again, I'm not going to make it up and say, oh, this is a huge shock. I think these are kind of tiny little light bulb moments that you're having where you're like, oh, this is a good idea. And I think it could lead to bigger things in the future. If anything, I would say this is going to lead to some restructuring with the Tower. So some of you might be restructuring your business or career. I get a very strong business career focus in this reading, although I kind of feel like it's about everything. So definitely could be happening. And with the Two of Swords, you have the Four of Cups. Four of Cups is about disappointments. It's a card of contemplation and apathy. I kind of feel that any decision would be a good decision right now as well. If you're trying to make some choices in work, business, love, spirituality, he has those Four Cups. He's manifesting the things in front of him, but he's not accepting those cups in his life. For some of you, I also feel that there is a little bit of grass is greener going on here. And I would say with the Two of Swords that, yes, the grass is greener on the other side. So, don't be afraid to make any changes is what this is kind of saying to me. At the end, for your future position, you have this community card. I definitely got that this is more about building community or following or people around you. So I feel that if you are doing that, you're going to be very successful. I also feel that some of you need to get out into the community. So if you're looking for love, obviously, I would get out there, date, meet new people. That's going to be where you're going to have the best opportunities, of course, to meet someone new is in public, not, sitting on your couch, as I always say. So, I would get out there, meet new people, do your thing. That's what I would do there. You have the Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Moon card here. The Page of Pentacles is a card of good news, good things coming in for you. And I also feel if you're looking for love, that this could be a new person coming in for you. Could be an earth sign. You have everything here, but really earth, water, and air stand out to me the most. So it could be one of those three that's coming in for you. Take it how it resonates. I feel like this person, it's communication coming in for you as well from this person. So again, for some of you, I'm wondering if you don't know who this person is, it could be a secret admirer and there could be communication. Could also be someone sliding in to your DMs or whatever you kids do nowadays, right? So that's what that could be. You have the Queen of Wands again. Queen of Wands says you're very attractive at this time. So I feel like this is someone who finds you attractive. I also feel like this is about being bold and assertive and really going for what you want. I mean, I think it's true for everyone that we all need to be more bold and assertive this year if we want to be successful. So don't be afraid to step up and, kind of take some calculated risks is what I would say with that card. You have the Moon here. Again, the Moon to me says you need to get down to these mountains. I kind of feel like you're on this path. You see those two pillars on the moon? The two pillars on the moon are kind of a warning to the Fool to not get distracted, to not get off the path. And again, you have the Tower here. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I do feel that for some of you, there could be some restructuring or a Tower moment that happens this week. And I feel like that Moon is saying could be one of those towers falling, but that would just be a distraction. So don't get distracted by distractions, right? That's basically what that Moon is saying to me. Let's see what's going on here. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Hierophant. I thought you had the Hierophant twice for some reason, but this keeps happening to me where I'm like double vision, seeing things twice. But there's like a message in that for you about double vision, something you need to pay attention to. But I would also say this could be the person you marry, could be a Taurus, could be any sign. But again, if you're meeting a new person, definitely love. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Ten of Wands. I feel like you're so close. I feel like you've done a lot of work. I feel like you are exhausted. After a very long journey, I feel like you're like, I don't think you're like hoping for a break, but I do kind of get the feeling of needing a break. I hope that makes sense. And I feel like you're very close. So don't give up now, Leo. We're just going to stay on this camera. With the moon, you have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands, a card of expansion. Moving on to, kind of like looking out into the water there. He sees those boats. And, it can be a card of your ships coming in, but it can also be your ships going out, right? And I do feel for you intuitively that your ships are coming in the future. It's like you're going to start seeing better results, especially in work or business, I feel. We're going to look now at your 5 main themes that you could be dealing with this week. You have the shark card. It says, take care or there will be loss of material wealth. I feel like you need to be careful of a shark in your life. Like if there are people, like I just get like, I kind of have a feeling here that I'm just going to tell you what I'm feeling. Okay, Leo, I have a feeling here that you could be finding like more and more success as we move throughout this year and into next year as well. And I think people will want your time, effort, attention. I would just be careful, like with the people that you're helping. I kind of feel this energy of needing to make sure that you're working with people who are kind of like on the same level or better, obviously, than you. It's like sometimes I think, like there could be people who want to like collaborate with you in business. I'm getting here. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't be like helping the smaller person out who maybe doesn't have a big social following, if that's what you're building here or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, I think I would just be careful is what I'm saying, especially if there's like a person who's coming in who's like, work with me, but you're doing all the work or something like that, right? So I'd make sure in like all your business dealings and everything like that, that there's some sort of understanding of, both sides. Let's put it that way. Next, you have this dolphin. It says financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. For those of you that have past work, I see a lot of kind of repackaging, rebuilding, restructuring with that tower. So again, don't throw away past work. Maybe you have a YouTube channel. It's like, can you rework some of the things that you've done? Can you use it in other ways? But this could be other things in business as well. I also, again, I kind of get the feeling, I think I said this on the Six of Cups or somewhere over here with the Six of Cups, that some of you, it's almost as if you're kind of like doing something that you already, I was saying it with the Six of Cups and the King of Swords. It's almost like you're doing something again, but it's working better because of your maturity, because you've learned what you needed to learn. You have this flute. It says disappointment in a friend or a lover. We kind of see this here with the Seven of Swords. Again, not going to sugarcoat it. I would just be careful of anyone coming from the past. I would be careful of like tricky energy as well. I'm also getting like, again, if you have had a past person in a business work relationship who was sneaky, tricky, blah, 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 if they have not changed, is what that is saying to me intuitively. Same thing in love as well. Again, if you have a person coming back from the past, I'd be very careful. I feel like this person has not changed. Next, you have this chair-filled card. It says someone new is entering into your life. We saw this with the Page of Pentacles. Definitely could be new love coming in for you. And much better. Again, I think you want to marry this person right away, is what I'd say. I think it's you, Leo, that is like, I want to marry this person right away. Hierophant, especially with the Hierophant there, it's like you're ready to go. I think this person probably wants to as well. And finally, you have this fair man. It says dealings or relationships with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. This could be the person that you shouldn't trust. Can we get more details on this? Are you kidding me? You have this dagger card. Fear, worries, tense situation. I would be very careful if you have dealt with anyone that looks like this. I mean, first off, I would never trust a person that looks like this based off the drawing here in the first place. But, you take it how it resonates, and it could be any gender. But again, this person has stabbed you in the back in the past. I see it. So this is someone who's done you dirty before. I would avoid a person who has done you dirty before. And it could be any gender, right? So I'd be careful of that. But other than that, Leo, this is a very good reading. So we're going to pull 3 cards now, and if you have a question, feel free to pause this reading, because I'm going to answer it with these 3 cards. If you don't have a question, that's fine too. I'm just going to put them all together as a personalish reading, but feel free to pause now, because I'm going to read the cards right now. You have the Six of Swords, the Death card, and the Devil. Again, I would be very careful of a past person. For some of you, I feel like you're moving on from toxic situations as well in your life, just in general. I feel like it would be a good time to avoid toxic stuff in general. I always say Mars retrograde, great time for your health, to watch your health, to avoid toxic stuff, right, in your life. There's also something collapsing here as well. Again, you have the Tower right here on the card. The King is dead underneath the Death Rider. It basically represents that, even even kings die. So, it basically says nothing is above transformation. Nothing is above going through a death. I kind of feel that for some of you. It's like sometimes I think we blindside ourselves. And I'm not calling you out here, Leo, but I've done it, right? Where it's like I thought a relationship was going one way and it didn't, right? It died. And totally blindsided at the time. But looking back, maybe, in the future, if this is happening to you, I feel like it's already happening to you, Seven of Swords, Eight of Swords, blah, blah, blah. Then I think looking back, you're going to be like, duh, like what was I thinking? But right now, maybe you're not. So some of you might be in that position. Same thing in business as well. It's like, I feel like some of you maybe have been blindsided in the past in business. Like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? I need to make money. I have to make payroll or all these things. All these things are popping into my head. But I kind of feel like this is saying like you've learned now and you're in a much better position. So, I think you've learned the lessons of needing to kind of like keep the momentum going in some area of your life, whatever it is for you, doesn't matter. And that's really what I'm getting there. I don't know how else to say it. So thank you for being here, Leo. Really appreciate it. This is pretty interesting. So it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. I would practice gratitude. I think you're going from one chamber to the other with that groundhog, like I said. It's like you're kind of like moving to the next stage of life almost. But it's going to be a good transformation. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.